Hey, welcome everybody. We're gonna get started now, just move things along. Welcome to the Massey College Alumni Association AGM for 2026. Guys, we're gonna get started. Thanks. So welcome, thanks for coming. Always an exciting time of year. We're gonna take you through some of the procedural aspects of the job and sort of what happened over the last year, our plans for the year ahead, and then we'll get you along to the barbecue. My name is Mark. I am the president of the Alumni Association. I'll be, I guess, guiding you through some of this today. And I'll pass the microphone to my colleagues.
Hi, I'm Trevor. I'm the treasurer.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm the principal secretary.
Tanya, I'm VP.
Great. So thanks for coming. We are going to take you through a few agenda items today, mostly going over what's happened over the last year and kind of plans, as I mentioned earlier. We're also going to get to elections because we have 3 positions open for the next 3 years. We'll have an election later on, and that'll be great. We have some people who have already submitted their names, but any of you are also welcome to put your name forward if you'd like to run from the floor. So we'll move on to our reporting, and I think Alex, you have the podium first.
Thank you, Mark. So starting off with database and communications, this has been a recurring theme throughout these meetings that the Massey database has historically not really been fit for purpose for the goals of connecting with alumni all over the world. It was very fragmented. The IT infrastructure that would allow people to register and just search for each other was very janky, and it basically wasn't maintained. Now, as part of the big revamp that the college has gone through, which I'm sure you all know about, have you been following, it's the regular news releases. One of those aspects is a fully new CRM, customer relationship management system, that is being implemented through the Bursar's office. Now, we have been told that it should be up and running by the end of this year, and that a big part of that is cleaning up the alumni database part of that, and that we would have access basically to it as would any alumnus. So it's going. Then again, I remember being in this exact position 5 years ago and also being told that, oh yeah, it's going to get fixed like right away. So we maintain a healthy level of skepticism, but we hope that this will get done in a way that allows us as the board to communicate with alumni and also allows alumni to communicate with themselves. That next up, in the interim, while this is getting sorted out, the best way to contact us remains through the email, alumni@masseycollege.ca. There'll be a link at the very end of the presentation, and people have been reaching out to us. So say that you aren't in the system, you aren't getting the emails, you want to get involved, or you're talking to an alumnus and they want to get involved and they don't know how, just tell them to email that or email the porter and we'll sort of get them into the system. And one new thing that's being done, WhatsApp has definitely supplanted listserv and Facebook as the dominant mode of communication among the junior fellowship. And as junior fellows graduate to alumni, what we've been doing is growing the alumni network on WhatsApp. So basically every junior common room WhatsApp chat for each year will now be retired into a WhatsApp community, and people kind of naturally accrete that. And then of course, if you as an alumnus who joined before this want to be part of that, again, email alumni@masseycollege.ca and we'll send you the link. We don't want to just share that publicly in order to maintain kind of control and privacy over that. That's all I had on the database and comms piece.
Okay. Financial and organizational relationship. Was that also you? Or?
Yeah, that was also. So Trevor will get into the numbers, but to give you a bit of a preview, there was a big element of sticker shock that happened over the last year. So the college basically said that historically they had been subsidizing, in their words, the barbecue, this particular event, which was our #1 spending item. Now, before we were spending a couple of $1,000s on it. Last year, when these policies were implemented, the sticker price went up to over $10,000. So obviously a huge escalation and approaching to, if not exceeding, our annual budgets. And that reoccurred this year, obviously, because the event is even bigger. Now, we've been in sustained consultations with the college, with the principal, with the bursar, basically saying that this mode is not sustainable for us because we can't really be spending 100% of our annual budget on just one thing when we have other initiatives we want to do, when we want to support events that happen at our embassies all around the world. We want to maybe support a junior fellow initiative or something else. Those discussions are ongoing, and I do think that the college is approaching them in good faith. But yeah, it's definitely something that we hope to communicate with you about, and we want to keep you involved in, because it is, quite frank, a big challenge to the way we're going to operate going forward. But yeah, that being said, I think the alumni community is maturing in really healthy ways. We're being integrated into the thinking of the college administration, the college community, in ways we weren't. I remember even 10 years ago, I remember we had to fight to even get alumni included in the list of members of the community. They mentioned quadranglers, they mentioned GFs, they mentioned senior fellows, and alumni would often not get mentioned in that. Now we are. Now, for example, we are retaking our role as overseers of the quarter century fund. So basically, no one was really following this, but technically, if you follow the rules, a member of the alumni board is supposed to sign off essentially on every quarter century fund purchase. That wasn't being done. Now it's being done. And it's not like we're vetoing a bunch of junior fellow initiatives, but we're making sure that what they propose is aligning with the spirit of the QCF, which is to a large part to make sure alumni are included, or basically come back to a college that is better. And this is maybe a bit of a call for you. A couple of weeks ago, a call went out for mentors as part of the Massey Meeting of the Minds. Now that is, again, for quadranglers, for senior fellows, but crucially for alumni that are 5 years out from graduation. And I think it'd be a really important symbol if as many alumni as possible signed up for that program and contributed their time to mentoring a junior fellow, because these things do get noticed at the college, and it's going to make our negotiating hand a lot stronger when we push for those organizational things that I mentioned before. That's all I had. I think I'll...
Can I maybe just add one thing on the sort of changes to the cost structure of the barbecue? There are lots of options at our disposal for this. We've explored a few, whether that is some kind of revenue sharing agreement or hosting the barbecue at a different location. There's lots of options here. We will continue. It's just a question of figuring out the right balance of things, and that's going to take some discussion over the course of the next year with the help of all of you and good advice and consultations from the broader alumni community. So we'll figure out a solution. Did come with a sticker shock, but we're confident we'll be able to move forward in a more productive way.
Thank you, Mark. And I think I'll pass it over to you for the governing board meeting access.
So we ran into a challenge this year in terms of attendance at governing board. And for those of you who don't know, governing board is kind of like the board of directors for the college. It's where all the big decisions are made. Normally, the Alumni Association has a representative on that board. The meetings occur quarterly, and normally it goes to the president to fill that role. However, not all of us on the Alumni Association have the benefit of flexible work hours during the workday, which meant it was difficult at times for us to attend, for me in particular, to attend some of those meetings which occurred during the day. So there was limited ability to send delegates per the guiding documents for that committee. The solution we have come up with going forward to allow more flexibility is that we will be electing a governing board representative from within the Massey Alumni Council. So the folks who are elected to our council, one of them will be chosen as the representative on that board, so that there is one person. They are responsible for maintaining confidentiality, for preserving the integrity of the process, but it's not limited to the president or someone else who may not have the flexibility in their schedule to attend. Obviously, it's vitally important that we have a voice at that committee, that we be getting updates in real time and have access to the materials that are important for us making decisions as a committee. But it's also, it's difficult for those of us who work or have other obligations during the day to attend. So we found a solution, and that's perhaps for any of you who might want to run for election, could be, a benefit to doing so. I mean, attending those meetings are really interesting. You have some very eminent and smart people discussing issues that are important for the college. And if that's something that interests you, if you want to participate in that, that is further reason to put your name forward to run for election for this committee. Any questions on that? No? Okay. Then I will pass over to Alex again.
Thank you. Really quickly about the Alumni Ambassador Program. So for those who don't know, this was a program that was launched as part of the revamp of the MCAA. The idea being that the alumni community, as distinct from the JF, Senior Fellow and Quadrangle community, is very globally dispersed. Obviously, a big concentration in Toronto, but huge communities in Ottawa and Montreal and Vancouver and London, UK and Singapore, what have you. So the idea was that people would self-nominate to be the ambassador, the point person for the Massey community in that city, in that geographical area. We had some success with this. We've had ambassadors in Ottawa, in Seoul, in London, UK. This did sort of come to a hold as part of this whole database revamp, because the way it functioned is people in the Massey database added a tag to their account that identified them as an ambassador, and that's how people would find them. We have communicated that we really want that functionality to exist in the new version of the database, but again, that's pending. That, however, being said, we are activating our ambassador network to support the Massey lectures, which you should have probably seen emails about. So we're going to be, hopefully, the community in Ottawa and Vancouver, where we do have embassies, will be doing events around those lectures, and we'll be supporting those financially and organizationally. And just as a reminder, the dates for those are Toronto, September 8th, Halifax, September 12th, Yellowknife, October 11th, Vancouver, October 22nd, 23rd, and Ottawa, October 29th. And just the last bit on this, the report, the MCA fund initiatives, really only two this year. One, we supported an event at Massey called the Circumpolar Landscape, which I think some of you may have attended. Again, it wasn't really an alumni-focused event, but it's a demonstration of our willingness to support college programming. And then another, we're supporting a get-together, like the initial get-together for the Vancouver Embassy. So I just want to emphasize that there's a reason that we want that fiscal room from the college to not have to spend our entire budget on this barbecue, because as we grow the embassies, as the embassies become more active, as these other things happen, we want to have resources to give to alumni that aren't just in Toronto, because let's be real, the people that come to the barbecue tend to be in and around the city. That's about it. Any questions? Yes.
Monument Merchant Junior Fellow many decades ago. If I may offer a suggestion to your first query about finances vis-a-vis the barbecue, may I suggest, now that you're aggregating the database, is attach a nominal subscription fee of $15 for every alumnus, $10 to $15, using that as a subsidy. I'm sure the suggestion has been advanced before. I just put this forward for consideration. I thank you.
Thank you for your suggestion.
Yeah. Certainly something we're considering as part of the big package, but appreciate it. Yeah.
Never just charge $20 for
Also, yeah.
So
a possibility. Yeah.
This will be
happy to pay it.
Be a bit more elucidated when you see the exact numbers on it. Like it doesn't change the core of the issue. Like even if 150 people pay $20, that's only still a very small portion of the budget that the college is charging us. There has to be anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, the cost escalated by, let's assume $10,000 based on the change in the subsidy program, which assuming 100 people here, we'd have to charge 100 a head. That's perhaps a little bit higher than just to cover that shortfall, right? So
the burgers aren't that good.
Yeah.
But the company is so fresh.
No arguments there.
Uh,
Okay, seeing none.
Pass on to Trevor, finances.
Hey, everyone. Okay, so there's been some talk of the money here, so let's put the numbers up so everyone can see. This is the financial progression over the course of the year. This is just the raw journal ledger for the college from the bursar, warts and all. You can see some outgoing there for some of the initiatives over the course of the year. Here I will be drawn, I'm sure, to this internal event, $14,000. I mean, as someone who's helped put on events like wine grazing in the past or the winter balls, like even those events don't draw that much money. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong here, that a lot of it is associated with this space rental charge that they would like to apply to the use of the quad for this. So it's not, as Sasha put on, that we are serving, a lot of caviar and filet mignon, Sicilian wine, although maybe that's an idea we could advance. But it is kind of attached to this nominal value, which is our use of the quad for the day. And I think it's definitely worth talking to the administration about why that seems justified from their perspective. The fund started with a value of $175,000. It is ending with a value of $158,000. This is sort of a timeline of funds value over the years, as well as the barbecue cost. You can see from last year it was about $3,400. It's jumped to $14,000, and we kind of found out about this after the fact. This was sort of presented to us as a bill, so that's, I think, kind of the main reason why we're going with it. That said, though, the fund did quite well. Oh, sorry, am I hitting? 27% return on the opening balance. So props to whoever's trading stocks on behalf. I think we're doing okay. Does anyone have any questions about the numbers? Yes.
Sorry, coming late to the meeting, but is this extra charge generated by Massey College or by the university?
Strictly by the college.
And they decided to adopt a new scheme for valuing the space in the courtyard?
So it would seem.
I'll clarify. Their position is that prior years they were subsidizing the events. Now they are not. So they are giving us the full price of what it would cost, say, even for an external group to rent it.
So where are the funds coming from? So we have a balance of $150,000. Where's it coming?
Sorry, the question is like, why do we have $150,000?
Yeah.
It comes from, I believe, a combination of donations and investments that have been made over time to establish this fund. Although Sasha, I know more here.
Yeah, my understanding was there was a big gift of $100,000 20-ish years ago. It was accumulating percentages for some years, not really touched. And as part of the revamp of the community that we did 8 or 9 years ago, that was kind of identified as how we're going to fund all of our activities.
I will say, as treasurer, if any of you have ideas for events going forward, I think I'm in the saddle for another 2 years. It's very, very easy to have this money approved. If you have an idea for something quixotic, something wonderful, something surprising, send me an email. Say, I would like to do this thing. It's going to cost this much. If we go back one slide, actually, there, this to give you a sense of this Darcy McGee's Irish pub receipt. For an event there, that consisted of sending me a photo of the receipt and some pictures of people hanging out in the pub, alumni having a good time, talking about I know not what, and then me sending an email to the bursar saying, please reimburse this person. Very, very simple. So yeah, send me ideas.
Maybe I'll just add one thing. So you probably heard being worried about using up our budget. I mean, we have a pretty sizable fund here. Obviously, we're close to, I don't know what it is now from here. Yeah, we're between 150 and 200,000. So it's not as though we're not going to have money if we absorb the cost of the barbecue. The issue is, do we want to be spending more than we are taking in as revenue each year, than we are getting as investment income? And if our costs are going up to, you know, $15,000, $20,000 a year, that's fine if the stock market is growing 30% a year. But, you know, I don't know that we necessarily want to bank on that. The last 5 years have been very strong. So we're just trying to be careful with the management here. And this is why we're having these discussions. But keep in mind, it's not as though our financial sustainability is going to suffer significantly as a result of this. It's just about figuring out the cash flow that makes the most sense for the kind of organization we want to run.
What's a fair cost for this event?
And what's a fair cost? Yeah.
Any further questions about the numbers? Here, no.
Oh, there's something online.
Oh, sorry, there's something in the chat. Okay, chat, we cooked. What we got? Has this new approach to space cost of Massey been across the board, i.e. junior fellow activities, or is it just the alumni events? I think I have heard noises that that junior fellows may have to pay a certain cost out of QCF funds for space rentals, although I don't know if that's true of every event. Does that ring true for you, Mark?
The way it's been presented to us is that this is an across the board rule, that every event that was previously subsidized, in their words, is no longer receiving that subsidy as a means to support the financial sustainability of the college. So my impression, not having looked at the numbers myself, but my impression is it's across the board.
And, you know, you can maybe get away with having a dozen people hang out in the puppy couch room or something like that. But this is obviously a massive event. We do clearly take up the room. We do clearly take up the quad. Good. We clearly take up the quad. And our suggestions of, say, cooking the food or serving the alcohol were shot down because it is an official event. So I think the JFs may have more wiggle room, but we don't.
One question. Sorry, just this is a straw poll thing, but while we have everyone here, can I get a show of hands? If we were to do events away from the college, would that still be as interesting to you guys as alumni? Show of hands, yeah, some and some, or is the Ron Tom architecture just so good? Okay, all right, 50-50. Thank you.
The emotional tie to place.
Thank you. Fair enough. Any other questions about the financial situation? See anyone online?
Good, moving on.
Okay, let's move on. We're now getting to the elections. And so we've got 3 spots open. I have submitted an application, but in discussions before this, I am actually going to withdraw mine to allow others to come forward. And I would like to also nominate Peter Pangaroth to stand for election as one of the 3 positions.
Does he
So
accept?
do you accept, Peter?
I do accept, thank you, yes.
Wonderful. So we can strike.
You'll have to forgive my appearance. If I knew I was running for election, I would be slightly better.
Slightly worse dressed.
Yeah.
Do you want to come to the podium now, or
Do you want to do them in order?
let's do them in order? Yeah.
Is Wanja here?
Wanda's not here. I can. No, she's not. I'll.
Do we?
Are we dealing just in acclamations?
At this point, yes.
At this point, unless there are others who would like to put their name forward.
But if we have a gentleman in the room, it'd be nice if he would just explain why he wants to run.
He will.
We'll get to that later in the process.
I have some statements here.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll go.
I can read Wanja's statement because I was so Wanja. I don't think is here, so I'm going to read a statement on her behalf. And for those who don't know, Wanja was a journalism fellow a few years ago, solid member of the community, still is actively involved with the college. And yeah, my time with Massey College was inspirational and empowering in so many ways. I got to meet and interact with people that I would otherwise never meet. I learned a lot and greatly enjoyed the friendship and sense of community found here. I want to share and spread that warmth to newcomers at Massey. I feel there is a palpable gap in how journalism fellows, especially those from Africa, experience the college. A number of them have reached out to me to share their experiences. There is a need for connection and continued support post the fellowship. In my experience, at least, If elected, this is something I would love to explore, shape, and move forward. Thank you. And I will add for myself, journalism fellows are alumni, like former, like they're a bit of a weird category, but they are members of the junior common room. And so when they leave, they are alumni, and we are very, very happy to have them. One of the founding members of the revamped MCA was Kim Kieran's, a journalism fellow. And we definitely want to keep that strand going forward.
Okay, perfect. The next person, or was this Clara? Who's here? Clara, do you want to come up and say a few words?
My name is Clara Steinhagen. I was at Massey from 2012 to 2017. I was on the LMF twice. I did winter ball a bunch, and then after, like toward the end of my being a JF, and also as an alum, I organized wine raising at least 3 or 4 times. I think that the most profound thing from Massey for me about Massey was that it taught me how I serve best, how I can use my strengths to give back. And I discovered at Massey that is by planning events and bringing people together and finding ways to help people celebrate one another and enjoy each other's company. And as an alumni, I organized winter ball wine raising. I really appreciated the MCIA for their support of it and how it brought so many alumni together. This was an event around which the alumni seemed to really congregate. And I would like to continue to do those kinds of events, not just wine raising, but like smaller, maybe lower key events around the city, friend group type events where alumni can find new connections, strengthen old ones, and I want to continue to do that outreach and that community building that I did as a JF. Thank you.
Peter, can you come up?
So, unlike the other two, I don't have a speech prepared, partially because this is something I've been thinking about for a little while, but when I mentioned it today to Sasha and Mark, they encouraged me to apply. And I was very fortunate to be a junior fellow here at the time, and really enabled me to create some very long and meaningful relationships that later on as an alumni I was very much able to build upon and kind of further and create new ones as well. And I think that importance of community and having a like-minded group that both foster your fellow here and so once you leave that you can interact with and maintain is something that's very valuable and even more so today. And it's something that if elected or acclaimed, I suppose, I would be very keen to further and expand upon. And in my time being associated here, I've helped out much more so informally in things such as there was a war film club for several years that I kind of took a proactive role in leading and things like of that nature. And yeah, I'd be very keen to give back more wholesomely to a place that's given me a great deal over the years. I feel like I'm rambling, so I'm gonna stop there. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Peter. Let's get ahead, I think. Oops.
Well, since we're acclaimed, this is a moot, but just as a point of information, yes.
I move the motion to accept the candidates. I believe we do need a formal motion to do that.
Okay.
All in favor?
All in favor?
All opposed? Seeing none. Acclaimed?
We're acclaimed. Yeah. Is there any other business anyone would like to raise at this time? online? No. Nothing, yeah, okay.
I would just like to offer well, first of all, a word of thanks to everyone who's served on the board this past year. I think I'm not just saying this was the best and most productive year we've had, not because it was the easiest year. I think there were some years before where we were kind of coasting and there wasn't a lot of pushback. But this was, I think, the first year where we've had real challenges, and the constitutional structure and the people who have stepped up and offered their time really made a big difference in advocating for the cause of the alumni. So I thank everyone at this table, and then the other members of the board and four members of the board who continue in kind of a privy council situation for continuing to provide that advice and guide the alumni community forward. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other business before we adjourn? Anything anyone would like to raise? No? Okay. I have a motion to adjourn then? Or sure. Second. All in favor? Good. Let's go eat. Thanks everyone.